Alright, what's up guys? Today you can see we got the new subframe here, which if you have no idea what's going on right now, I have no idea if you can even see me. Light. So basically what's going on is I have a new subframe here, or at least a used one, but one that's in much better condition than mine is. I'd give you a look at it, but it's actually underneath the car, obviously still on the car, but maybe I'll put some pictures up in the video here. It's really rusted. I actually poked a little hole through it, and it was like in this section here that's supposed to be solid metal. I just poked it and it went all the way through, so it's really rusty. This one, Matt at More Performance got a hold of one for me, and so props to you, Matt, thank you. And all the other guys at More, you guys are great. You guys get shit done and it's good work. I always take my car there, so recommendation for them if you have a Subaru, Evo, Nissan, anything like that. Pretty much imports, but I think they work on pretty much anything custom. They'll get it to you and get it done. But so this is definitely the new subframe that's going to go in. A lot of this isn't bad. It's just, if you look at this, it's just dirt all over this, but there is some minor rust that I'm going to treat, especially up here on these weld points. All that's going to need to be treated. I'm not going to actually sand all of this down, because if you look up here, once I get all the dirt off of here, this is real nice. So we're not going to do the whole thing, which is what my first intention was, but after seeing it, it looks like just going to kind of grind down all this rust here, all this kind of welding, and just really where the welds are where it's rusted. The rest of it's like pretty good actually, but it's going to be a lot better than mine was. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on that right now. As you can see, I got my little light set up because the actual other light up here, the fluorescent one, is not in commission right now. So I'm working with these lights over here, which I know is probably really bad for the video too, but I'm just working with what I got here. I got about 2 or 3 more weeks until the racing season starts, and I could have put my summer tires back on because it's been like 60 and 70, which are chilling over there. But I just decided I'm going to leave the winter ones on for now and, you know, let it be and just kind of wear them out, because I actually hate these anyhow. They are these Winter Force ones, Firestone Winter Force. They are so incredibly loud, it's ridiculous. So just looking to kind of get rid of those at this point. And actually my summer ones over here, my quote-unquote race tires, are getting really low on tread, so those are going to need to be replaced probably within like 2 months after putting them on, especially with any type of racing. So here we go. I'm just going to start. I'm using a wire brush on this, which is right here, and this isn't all plugged in yet, but finally a new drill. Used drill actually, but new to me. And we got a various assortment of other little wheels, and other little things to use here. So we're gonna see what works best. I actually used that on my wheels before, and whenever I was getting all the paint off, that worked really well. And I just think for a lot of those crevices I gotta get into, I might need to go to like a kind of like a wheeled brush like this, but we'll see. And also you can see other various random parts and stuff. This is all put away and all great for like about a week, and then this happened. So that's what happens when we work on stuff. So let's go ahead and get started on this. Alright, so some good and some bad news, I guess you could say. So I started sanding this off, like you can just see, and it started coming off real good. This would have, you know, been really good to have on here, except I'm looking at it, the more I'm looking at it, and I'm looking at the one that's on the car too, and I'm looking at this one, and I'm looking back at the car, and I'm looking at this one again, and I'm gonna move the tripod here, but it looks like this here. I'm like right in the freaking face of the sun here, but like right here, if you look at this, see how it's all dinged up? It's like bing, 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 and you can even see where like it's been chipped away, where it's actually been hit, and you can see it's concaved in here. Well, if you look here, this is supposed to be flat, and that's supposed to be flat, and if this whole thing is supposed to be flat all the way across, and if you look at this on its side, I'm not really sure if you can see, but that's supposed to be completely straight, and you know, it would be one thing if it was just a little bit off, but I mean, it's not anywhere close. And also you can see here, this is supposed to be straight too. The whole thing is supposed to be straight across the front at least, and then the rest of it's supposed to, you know, it's just really hard to tell because like you got all these little insets and things like that. You almost think like, hey, is that there for like kind of like a weight reduction type of thing, you know? But I don't think it's supposed to look like that. So the problem is here, when you go to put this up and you go to kind of look at it, like, you know, with actual light on it, like you can actually tell the holes on either side don't look like they're exactly gonna line up. So this doesn't look like a good idea to be even putting this on the car at this point, just because, okay, yeah, I mean, it's not rusty, but is it even gonna fit on the car once we get this all cleaned up and everything? So just from all the dents there, I mean, maybe you can see it a little bit better here in the light. But you can see it's definitely not supposed to look like that. So I don't know, this looks like kind of shady to be doing this. So that's the bad news. The good news right now is supposedly you don't even need this piece. I thought this was holding up something like, obviously the cross member and everything is holding up the transmission. I mean, you know, the engine and transmission and other assembly items in there. And that's like the main part you don't want to be rusted, but like this in particular doesn't do jack shit except maybe make the front of the car a little bit more rigid. And also you got to remember, apparently, you know, the internet says that the Japanese and Australian market don't even have these. It looks like it was just something that was added for you know, American safety standards. So am I that, you know, keen on replacing it at this point? Probably not, because, you know, I'll just do with what I got on there and I'll make it, you know, as structurally sound as possible. Maybe get something welded on it, I'm not really sure. Mine's just got a lot of surface rust, maybe it's worth just protecting it at this point. A little hard to do on the car, but I don't think I'm gonna pursue this one any longer, just because who knows if it's gonna fit. Even if it looks as pretty as it does, I think it looks a lot better. And this is called surface rust. This is surface rust. This can be easily treated. So the stuff that's on the car, it's really questionable. But, you know, I just don't think it's worth pursuing at this point. Plus, it's even missing, like, you'll notice it's got a attachment point here. There's supposed to be one here, and there's not. I'm not sure if that's because this is off a different model or, you know, not a WRX, but maybe like a, who knows, like 2007, maybe they changed it, maybe it's a little different, maybe it doesn't have that point. Who knows? I have no idea. Either way, I'm thinking this one's out of, it's just not worth doing at this point because it doesn't look like it's gonna match up. And who knows, maybe it would, maybe they could bend it back, you know, like whatever, but if it's not holding anything on the car, if it's not really necessary, you know, at least, you know, in Australia and Japan, they don't have them, so apparently it must be safe enough for them. You know, so it is what it is. I guess it's just not something that I'm going to pursue at this point. And I'll just keep what I have on there. So I guess that saves me, ideally, you know, like $200, because it would have been $150 to install, plus $60 to the part. It's $210. So yeah, we're going to scrap this idea. So additionally, I also just looked outside and the lovely, I don't know if you can see me, maybe you can, maybe you can't, maybe I'll stand in the light here, but just the, yeah, now I'm like in the freaking light of the sun, but I'll walk over here. It looks like the MAF sensor actually came, which is what I was hoping would come. So that is here, and it was sitting out in the rain a little bit, but it was actually wrapped in plastic, so it looks okay. It was okay in the box. And actually inside the box, it was in plastic too, so it's good, thank God. But like, you think they could have, you know, rang the doorbell or something? Nope, nobody rang the doorbell. So I got that. I got the radiator ordered today. I just went with an OEM Koyo replacement. Koyo makes good stuff, and I had a they had like a spring tax sale at Rally Sport Direct, so another 10% off. It came to like a little under $50. I mean, yeah, $50 would be nice. A little under $150. So that's good. I'll be able to get that in, and I also have we got the 2 hoses here. These are Samco hoses. Got these off somebody on Naziok, but got some replacement T-clamps is what they call these. They look like they hold a lot better, but I got those off eBay too, from some silicone warehouse place. So some quality stuff here. The lower one. We got some coolant conditioner. If you don't have this in your car, definitely put this in here. OEM Subaru part. It's gonna make your coolant not destroy your head gaskets, which always seems to be a problem with the Subarus there. We got a parent bar here, not for my car, parent strut bar, but for a buddy's car. It's gonna go on Joe's, I believe. And yeah, so subframe, we're scrapping this idea. So I'm not gonna drag on about it, but that's it. I guess I'm just gonna kind of take it back to Moore's and, you know, whatever. It's just, yeah, not worth it. But here, let me try to get a light actually. Get the flashlight. Let's see, we got flashy. Okay, let me show you what's on the car at this point so you guys see what I'm talking about. If you look up here, well, it's all white right now, not due to salt, but due to, like, I guess oxidation, because I actually got a lot of that stuff off. But you can actually see, number one, what I want you guys to see is, see how it's straight all the way across, even though mine's rusted, but it's straight the entire way. As you can see, this one's like concaved in, so the problem is, are those mounting points way back here? I'm gonna put the little light on it, but way back there and there, especially the ones way farther in the back, are those gonna match up? So it doesn't look like it. Looks like actually this just wraps around and, you know, it's for like safety actually, but I guess you don't really need it. It's not really holding up anything. The rest of everything that is structurally holding it together looks good. But you can definitely see, I'm gonna try to put the camera up there as best as I can, but it looks really nasty and rusty. And the weird thing is, it's like the only rusted thing on the car. It looks like they kind of just didn't give a crap about the subframe when they were putting this thing on. They were just like, yep, US safety standards, we'll build the rest of the car really good, but we don't really care about the subframe here. So, yeah, it is what it is. There's the nice radiator all gunked up. But yeah, that's it. Looks like that idea is gonna be scrapped. So, oh well, not a big deal. Whatever. MAF sensor and all that stuff is more important at this point, and just getting the leaks done and the hoses and all together. And then you just kind of realize, you know, it's like 13 years old now, I think. So shit's getting old, but I guess it's just replacement time and clean it up the best you can and not worry about, I guess what we could say is stupid stuff like this, but you want it to be nice. So lesson learned, I guess, is definitely check the parts out before you pick them up and make sure the stuff's gonna fit. And also, when you're looking at something to replace something, see how important it actually is to replace. Like your MAF sensor, really important to replace. But this probably not so much. And also, like, if you really think about it, just case in point, this is a strut bar for a GR chassis, and they're great, they look awesome. You put them on, they look all fancy, and you're like, oh yeah, cool, handles better. And like, yeah, maybe it does like a little bit, but at the same token, like, how much did that actually help your car? I mean, like, wouldn't it be better? I don't know. I mean, like, at least putting a radiator in, like, would that be, even then, like, how much is a radiator gonna help? You know, like, you know, we do all this stuff to our cars, and like, I think a lot of times you just want to kind of keep it running, and yeah, you want to add things that make it quicker, but like, even if your stuff's not broken, don't fix it, I guess is what I'm trying to say. This on mine, it's gonna be leaking here soon, I think, so that's gonna be fixed. That doesn't need to be fixed, and things like this, they're easy, you can add them, it's not a big deal, but essentially how much performance are you actually getting from this? So it looks cool, you know, for the price that he got it for, you know, it's not a big deal. But yeah, I'm rambling on at this point, so that is the end of the subframe. I think we might just try to rust proof the one that's on there, really sand it down and rust proof it, and just pray that it's okay, you know, and that it passes inspection, I think is a biggie. I wonder what they'd do if, like, you just didn't have it on there. I wonder if they'd even notice. Who knows? Hopefully I won't have to find out either. So I'll leave you guys with that, and this concludes this episode. So talk to you later, guys. Bye.